United Airlines apologizing after a flight attendant ordered a passenger's dog into an overhead bin where the dog died.
When the flight attendants came, she said, you have to put him up there because it's going to block the path. And we're like, it's a dog, and she's like, it doesn't matter, you still have to put it up there. And she helped her put it up, and she just closed it like it was a baggage. She took him out and opened the thing, and then she got the dog, and he was dead.
In a statement, the airline assumed, quote, full responsibility for the tragedy, expressing their deepest condolences. Mary Schiavo is a CNN transportation analyst and former Inspector General with the U.S. Department of Transportation. Former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney Robert Bianchi is also with us. Mary, I have to say, you hear this story and the reaction that I've heard from everyone, in addition to the outrage and the sympathy for this family, is how does this even happen?
Exactly, and that's the right response, because here the passenger, we hear so many stories of misbehaving passengers, but here the passenger did absolutely everything the passenger was supposed to do. Booked in advance, paid the fees, had an approved dog carrier, and put the carrier under the seat. And if it didn't fit, it was up to United Airlines, who had an advance booking and knew exactly how many pets would be on board. It was up to them to find a place to put that approved dog carrier, it was the right size, under a seat and accommodate the passengers. There are no regulations that allow a dog to be in an overhead bin. It's just shocking.
It is shocking, to say the least. United also responding very quickly here, saying we assume full responsibility. Look, Bob, nothing's going to bring this dog back. Nothing is going to make this better, quite honestly, for this family. What does full responsibility translate to in this case?
That's a great question, Erica, because my experience with this prosecuting in civil cases with this is we take responsibility for liability under a negligence standard, but that's not the question. The question is the damages. What are you going to do to make it right? They obviously can't bring the dog back. And typically under most laws in most states, I think except Alaska, the dog is merely considered property. So what they may, United Airlines, consider doing the right thing is giving the replacement value. But what about the emotional distress, the emotional damages, the time and money that went into rearing that dog? I'll guarantee you, other than the shows like yours that are putting the spotlight on this and public pressure, if it was just any random person and it wasn't in the media, they'd be saying, we'll give you $400 or $500 for your loss.
It'll be interesting to see, because United has had no shortage of issues and being in the public eye over the last year or so. We all remember Dr. Down, what happened in Chicago. Even though those weren't United employees, United got all of the blowback from it because it happened on their plane. Mary, the other issue here is we went back and we looked at the records. And so in 2017, there were 24 reported deaths during air transport. 18 of those happened on United flights. That is a very high percentage.
That is, and when you also put in injuries, United had 13 of the 15 injuries of pets on board. Now, granted, the airlines carry about 500,000 pets every year, but that means United Airlines' rate of injury or death of an animal is about 4 times higher than the national average, 3 to 4 times higher. So you have something systemic going on at United, and that wasn't the first year. The year before, United had a much higher rate too. So they need to get a handle on this, because these statistics do show a very alarming pattern.
Mary, if I'm going to travel with my pet, what do I need to know, and what shouldn't I do?
Well, the most important thing is to look at each carrier's website, and they tell you exactly what they require. And the safest way is, of course, and many animal rights sites say this too, is to do exactly what this passenger did. Put your dog in the carrier, take it on the cabin with you, of course, if the dog will fit, and then you have to pay a fee. And almost every airline limits the number of cabin pets that can be allowed, usually between like 2 to 10 per flight. And that's the safest way to transport, because many sites will tell you that there's a lot of stress involved in checking that animal into the cargo hold, and a lot of times they do die in not a lot, but when death occurs, often it's in the cargo hold. So the safest way is in the cabin, in a pet carrier approved for travel.
Or in your car, maybe. Really quickly, Bob, before I let you go, how quickly do you think United settles this?
I think they're going to sell it very quickly because of the negative publicity. But something that shocks me about all this is that we have a new puppy, and we've been looking about how to transport it. And I wish they have something in there, these disclaimers that said, you just presume it's safe. You presume United would do it safely. I'd be afraid now to put my puppy on a plane, period. End of story now because of this.
Bob Bianchi, Mary Schiavo, appreciate it. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.